Huge week, probably the biggest week of summer 2023. We have FOMC coming out on Wednesday, July 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The Fed is likely to do a 25 basis point rate hike, almost a 99% probability at this point. I will explain why that is. We also have Microsoft and Google earnings on Tuesday after market close. And we have Meta earnings on Wednesday after market close. So three of the largest companies in the world reporting this week, along with FOMC. In terms of how I've been approaching this bull market so far, selling puts in a bull market to me is a lot easier than it is in a bear market, because the market is, the likelihood is that the market continues to go up, especially if you're talking about blue chip stocks that are at the top of these indices. And when you're selling puts in a bear market and the market continues to decline, for instance, nobody knew that Tesla would drop to $100. So while you are selling puts, you could get assigned time and time again in a bear market. However, in a bull market, you are likely to keep that cash. And if you are assigned, it is a welcomed opportunity to buy it for cheaper in a market that continuously goes up. We are also nibbling strategically risk on into sectors and companies that haven't yet been rotated into. You guys have heard me talk about XLE, which is the energy sector of the S&P 500, XLU, which is the utility sector, and XLV, which is the healthcare sector. We bought Occidental Petroleum in June. That investment is now up 10%. It is also a dividend-paying investment. If you want access to all of my trades, my options, futures, long-term stocks, as well as my cash secured puts and covered calls, link is in the description below. Book a call. Talk to an ambassador. If you are approved, I will welcome you into the Traveling Trader Academy, of course. So in terms of what I expect, as I said, I expect a 25 basis point rate hike. Now, the reason is because even though inflation, the rate of inflation has dropped like a fly. So in July, the year over year CPI was 9%. This July in 2023, year over year CPI is now at 3%. So we've never seen a rate of inflation drop like this. Now, I know that a lot of you guys will be like, oh, but those numbers are lies, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, it could be so, but those are the numbers that we have reported. So those are the numbers that I have to go by, right? It's not like historically the numbers were 100% accurate either, right? So it's not like historical numbers were 100% accurate and now current numbers in 2023 are the only ones that are lied about. So those are the numbers that we have to go by, and that's what I'm going to go with in terms of basing my investments and my trades and my thesis on the market, et cetera, regardless of whether there is some there is some fudging of the numbers, which I'm sure happens in almost every industry, especially where the government is involved. However, that is the fastest rate of inflation decline that we've seen historically. So if that's the case, why is the Fed going to raise rates again? Well, I believe it's because wage inflation is still really high. We are at least a 15-year high on wage inflation, and the Fed wants to tamp down wages because they are afraid of inflation coming back if they don't act aggressively. So that is why I think they will continue to raise rates. Now, what happens after July? Remember, we have Jackson Hole in August, which is not an FOMC meeting, and then we have the FOMC meeting in September. So are they going to raise in September? That one I'm not so sure about. So I think that they're going to raise on Wednesday, July 26th. But whether the market reacts to it negatively or not, we are about 6% away from all-time highs on both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Whether the market reacts to it negatively or not, remember the initial reaction doesn't matter the day of or the day after. But what happens in the weeks to come, is it going to be negative or positive? I think it really depends on what the Fed says. If the Fed says no effing around, we're going to raise in September, no ifs, ands, or buts, then I think the market reacts negatively and we could get an August pullback, a September pullback as well. Remember, September is the worst month of the market historically. And lo and behold, July is one of the best months in the market. So the last 16 years, the QQQ has been up every single July for the past 16 years straight. And I don't expect this one to be any less than that. I think we will end July green, even if it's slightly green. But I do think that August, September, we could get a pullback, and it will depend on how aggressive the Fed is on FOMC if they hint very strongly at raising in September. Also, when Jerome Powell speaks at Jackson Hole in August, how aggressive will he sound then? Remember, Jackson Hole, the market actually did tank before after Jackson Hole, even though it is not an official meeting. So that is everything that's going on in the markets this week. Again, if you want access to all of our plays, how we're playing earnings, etc., and I do owe you guys a Tesla video because you did respond favorably the last video and said, please, please, please make an option selling video for Tesla. I will do that. And I will also show you a cheat code to selling options on Fidelity and on TD Ameritrade. There is a way to earn 5% of the money, 5% on the money that you use as collateral for your cash secured put. So I will definitely include that in the video. Again, sign up if you want access to all of our trades. Link is in the description below. We are currently in the middle also of our summer mentorship. If you want to get on the wait list for the fall mentorship, that link is also in the description below. Those are the top 2 links in the description. We will only accept 20 people out of the 1,000+ applications. At least the last time we got over 1,000 applications. So I'm expecting to get around that for fall, and we will only accept around 20 people. And it is a very intensive course that lasts 8 weeks. Hit that thumbs up if you got anything out of this video. Leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what your expectations are for FOMC. Hit that notification bell. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.